honestly, kind of boring with these answers, but obviously we can just do better.
How are you feeling physically? I know Mike Schultz alluded last night to maybe wanting to give you a day off because of how much you play, just the grind of the season.
Yeah. I mean, it's a grind for sure, but at this point, there's no time to take a day off. I should have taken one earlier on in the year, but at this point, there's 22 games left, and there's no time to sit back and sit on your heels. We got to go out there and play.
We got a hell of a team, and so I can't wait to see Petco in October again. I can't wait to see these guys in October, and it'll be a very fun final stretch.
Oh boy. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Marty Time TV. I am Marty Caswell. That is Kyle Glaser. We are brought to you here on a Thursday by the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the Players Place. Kyle, it is great to see you. The Colorado Rockies are in town, which is probably the opponent you want if you are the Padres and you're looking to kickstart that offense. All I'm going to say, you saw that open. That was Manny Machado from a couple days ago talking about not wanting to take a time off because it's crunch time. It's go time. They're chasing the wild card. They're chasing the West. We'll get there next. But Manny Machado is in a slump. He is in an offensive struggles right now. And I'm going to say this right now. If the Padres cannot afford to give Manny Machado a day off when they are playing the Rockies, who have won 40 games in 2025 with a run differential of minus 386, then what are we talking about with these Padres? Kyle, how are you today?
Doing all right, Marty. And yeah, look, Manny Machado, I think saying he's in a slump understates it. Since August 1st, he is hitting 193 with a 552 OPS. Out of 155 qualified hitters in that time, Manny ranks 148th in batting average and 150th in OPS. He has been objectively one of the 5 to 7 worst hitters in Major League Baseball for 5+ weeks now. And while there's certainly a lot of desire on his part to go out and play every day, and that's what you want your best players to be out there every single day. Realistically, he has not been able to help the Padres in any way, shape, or form offensively for weeks, and continuing to go out there and do the same thing over and over again is only going to do more harm than good. And the Padres should have realized this a few weeks ago, and now they are at a point where it starts to get a little dicey, where you do need him, but at the same time, the level of production he's giving you is doing a lot more harm than good.
Yeah, I know they have an off day on Monday before they play that important series with the New York Mets. I would be floored if Mike Schultz did not find a way to give Manny Machado a day off like now in this series. Maybe you gave him the day off Sunday and then you give him 2 consecutive days. Shoot, maybe you give him a day off tonight. I don't know, because it's hard to think. I know the Padres lengthened their lineup, right? At that trade deadline, they bring in Laureano, O'Hearn. It's a much better lineup. But if they don't get Manny Machado going, how do you feel about the Padres making a deep postseason run?
There is no question that for the Padres to achieve all of their goals, winning the division, going on a deep postseason run, getting to a World Series, which are their stated goals, they are going to need the best version of Manny Machado to do that. And by continuing to run him out when he is so visibly gassed, and yes, he's right, every player at this point is playing through something injury-wise. They're tired, they're grinding it out. But even in that context of everyone dealing with that, Manny has been dealing with it among the worst of any player in baseball from a production standpoint. So realistically, yes, in order for the Padres to get the best from Manny Machado, that does mean finding a way to give him a day off, to let him just rest, recuperate, reset. It is painfully apparent to anyone watching. Padres officials, Padres coaches, opposing scouts, opposing managers, opposing pitchers, that he is so gassed right now, he cannot do anything offensively. There is nothing behind his swing right now.
Wow.
That it's just something that needs to happen. And really the opportunity for the Padres to do this was after the Baltimore series. They had that day game after the night game on Wednesday. The best thing to do was give Manny that day game off, then the Thursday off. So he has a full 2 days off with the off day. Goes into Colorado fresh. They didn't do that. Now you're in a situation where he's playing 10 games in 10 days, and there's no obvious spot for him to have that, back-to-back days, get a full 48 hours with a day off followed by an off day. So they've put themselves in this position by not doing what they should have done a week ago.
Is it just simple as an off day? I mean, do you think that It's just, I mean, from the outside observer,
Yeah.
it's just 48 hours really going to make a difference in getting that Manny Machado that can really carry a playoff team that has carried the Padres in the past. Is it that simple?
So realistically, there's a big element here of fatigue. Whatever he may be dealing with physically obviously has not been discussed publicly, and only he knows the extent of
Right.
it.
Right.
What we do know is that continuing to do what they're doing, it is a 0% chance that he will bounce back. Continuing to run him out there when he is this tired and has this little to offer offensively, you are not going to get the best version of Manny Machado. It is a 0% chance. If you give him 24, 48 hours to rest, recuperate, get a reset, at least you're giving yourselves a chance. At least you are maximizing the possibility that maybe this is the issue. If he comes back and he still struggles, then we'll know. But at the very least, you need to at least give it a chance. Because right now, it's 0% chance that he's magically going to turn on these last 16 games when he's as tired as he is. It's just not going to happen.
Before we get to the starting pitching, which was a big deal for you and I a couple of weeks ago, the last time that we talked, I do want to ask about Tatis. You're starting to see some positive signs from Fernando. He has already matched his home run total for the past 2 months here in September. What are you seeing from Fernando over the past 2 to 3 weeks?
Yeah, look, the power production is obviously good. We saw him come through in a big spot with a walk-off sacrifice fly on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
I think what I'm seeing from Fernando Tatis Jr. that's encouraging is we're seeing him kind of get back to playing to the situation. You know, that walk-off sac fly on Monday, his first 2 swings were kind of big, long swings. He was trying to go yard, but he got to 2 strikes. He understood, hey, I've got to get this ball in play. And he made the adjustment and lifted the sac fly. And I think that was really important because we've seen at times when Fernando is in a slump, and this isn't unique to him, this is something that all players do. They can kind of try to swing their way out of it. They start pressing, they start expanding, everything starts getting bigger, and we've seen him do that. So I think that seeing him get back to adjusting to the situation, knowing when to shorten up versus knowing when to, hunt that high fastball and crush it into the left field stands, that's been really encouraging. Again, we've seen really good spurts throughout the season, and then he kind of falls off, so you want to see him maintain it. But there's no question, seeing what he's done here over these last 7-8 games is certainly really encouraging just compared to where he was throughout most of August in particular.
Okay, I agree. All right, now to the pitching staff. The last time that you and I talked, and I know this caused quite a reaction from Padres fans. You were right. By the way, you were 1,000% right. I should have brought that clip back, but you said if the Padres do not fix their pitching issues, their rotation issues, they are in genuine danger of missing the playoffs altogether because the Reds are coming. By the way, the Reds are right there for the wild card, tied with the Giants. They're the 2 games for the 2 games behind the Mets, I believe, for the final wild card spot. So it's gotten a lot more crowded. Michael King was back 2 nights ago, and I thought he looked outstanding.
Yeah.
What we've seen from Michael King, does that somehow remedy any of the Padres pitching situations? Do you feel about the Padres outlook just because of what Michael King was able to do?
That Michael King's effort, is a part of their improved outlook. Look, when we mentioned that, when I talked about that, the Padres were in a stretch where their starters completed 5 innings once in a 9-game stretch. And
amazing.
Completely relatedly, they went 2-7 over those 9 games. Mm-hmm. And what I said at the time was, if that continues, if they continue to have starters not even get to 5 innings, they're going to keep having stretches where they're going 2-7 over 9 games. And that's how you have these, oh, wow, we've lost 14 of 18 and our 5-game lead has evaporated. That's how collapses happen. To the Padres starters' credit, as a unit, they have turned it around.
Yeah.
The Padres now have 6 straight games in which a starting pitcher has completed at least 5 innings.
Remarkable.
Yu Darvish pitching into the 6th on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Big step forward. Michael King being on a pitch count, being efficient enough to get through 5 innings in his start. Huge. Nick Pivetta, 7 scoreless last night. Even Randy Vasquez giving them 6 in Colorado. That has been a tremendous turnaround. So if you're looking for reasons for optimism, that was the biggest threat to the Padres. That was an existential threat to their season. If their starting pitching collapse, because we know they don't have the offense to win games, they need their starting pitching to keep them in games and hand it off to the bullpen. The fact the starting pitching has turned it around certainly brightens their outlook. They still have to fix their offense, but now instead of having 2 big problems, they have 1 big problem, which is easier to fix.
I am ready right now here on September 11th to raise the white flag on the National League West. They are 3 games behind the Dodgers. Technically, it's 4 because of the tiebreaker. Kyle, where do you stand on the West with what, 16? Is it 16 games left in the season? 16.
Yeah, I'm not going to say it's a 0% chance for them to make up 3 games in 16 days, or I should say a 3-game deficit in 16 games. But there's no question, going from a game ahead of the Dodgers after that, Saturday game at Petco Park to now 3 games back, while also no longer holding, not having the tiebreaker. There's no question their odds are dwindling by the day. And this is something they need to try and turn around right now. Again, having 4 games against the Rockies is a huge, huge boost. Then they have a road swing against the Mets, which the Mets are going to be fighting for their playoff lives. That won't be easy. But then they get a White Sox team that has been playing better and playing some spoiler. But the Padres, if they do what they should win that series. So the Padres do have an opportunity to, go 7-3 over these next 10 games, but they have to actually do it. And if they can, maybe they'll be back in the race. But these last 2 weeks, certainly, there's no question, have not engendered a lot of confidence, losing 11 of 16, including to a lot of teams the Padres are much better than.
That series with the Mets is massive, not just for positioning in the wild card standings, but because the Mets have, to me, no chance of catching the Phillies in the East. And they also have those 2 teams hot on their heels, the Cincinnati Reds and the Giants. By the way, I know like a lot of media types are making the reservations right now for, where are you going to go for the first round? And right now, as things stand, the Padres would have to go to Chicago to play the Cubs 3 straight games, right? The Cubs would host that entire series for the wild card round. If you're the Padres, I mean, you want Petco Park, you want the home games, you want the gate, you want that crowd behind you. But is this offense better on the road? Just the way they're playing lately, at least when it comes to their slug?
Not really. I mean, you look at the splits, the offense is actually fairly similar home and on the road. The biggest difference is the team's road ERA is about almost a full run higher than their home ERA. So realistically, look, we have seen this all year from this Padres team. They have lost 10 of 11 road series against teams with winning records.
Wow.
The Padres' path to postseason success would be they need to be home for the wild card series, whether that's winning the division as 3 seed versus top wild card, as the 4 seed. Then they'd have to go on the road for the division series regardless. You hope and pray they can split the first 2 on the road and come back and finish it out at Petco. And then have home field in the NLCS, which is why you want them to have the highest seed possible to maximize those chances. Given this team's struggles on the road throughout the year, there is I wouldn't say zero chance. It is extraordinarily unlikely they will suddenly turn it on and be able to go win 3 straight road series during the postseason. They need to be at home as often as possible for them to really have any chance of advancing. And if they're on the road from the outset in the wild card series, that's just not a winning formula for them, given what we have seen from them start to finish all year. At this point in the season, you know who your teams are. And while teams can certainly get hot, the road problems for the Padres have been consistent from April through September. And it's hard to see them flipping to that level of a degree where you can say, oh yeah, they'll go win 3 straight series on the road against postseason teams. I just think that's very, very unlikely to happen.
Kyle, given the woes that we have talking about, and given the remaining strength of schedule, which is still favorable to the Padres, although they have not taken advantage of that in the past 2 weeks, which is so frustrating. Yeah. Do you think, all things considered, that they are a playoff team?
I do. When you have a 5-game advantage with 16 games to go, I do think they're in good position to make the playoffs. Now, my answer would have been different if their starting pitching woes had continued. But the fact the starters have turned it around, they're just going to be in a position to be a lot more competitive game in and game out. But I will say, yes, it is concerning that one of the constants for the Padres this season, through all their highs and lows, they pretty much took care of business against the team they were supposed to take care of business against. Whatever their road troubles, whatever their troubles against teams over 500 for a long time, they had a losing record against winning teams. Pretty consistently, they were beating the teams they should beat, especially at home. And the fact that that has stopped happening the last 2 weeks is concerning. Losing to a Twins team that traded 10 players from their big league roster at the trade deadline and was more or less throwing out a lineup of 4-ish major leaguers and a bunch of utility men, bench guys. I mean, this was a team in full rebuild sell mode.
Mm-hmm.
Padres lost that series. Well, not having to face Paulo Lopez, by the way. Then getting swept at home by the Orioles in a series where the Orioles did not throw Trevor Rogers. And then losing a series to the Reds when the Reds did not throw Hunter Green in the series. I mean, they're losing series to teams they should beat when these teams aren't even throwing out their best pitchers. The Padres are missing their best pitchers. That is very concerning. That said, with a 5-game edge with 16 games to go and their starting pitchers doing what they should do, I do think they will make the playoffs, but there is no question they've got to turn this around and at the bare minimum start being the teams they're supposed to be.
This Friday, when Dylan Cease is taking on the Colorado Rockies, again, the Colorado Rockies have won 40 games. They have a minus 386 run differential, which to me is staggering. Padres fans and the Padres will also be scoreboard watching what's happening in the Bay Area because that game, it's Dodgers and the Giants. I believe Yoshinobu Yamamoto and Justin Verlander. How big a threat are the Giants, who have made this remarkable comeback after essentially being sellers of the deadline too?
In terms of a threat to make the postseason, I mean, they're playing so well. Yeah, you have to consider them a realistic threat. They had a stretch where they won 13 of 16. They lost last night, so I believe it's 13 of 17. But look, this is a team with 2 frontline aces and Logan Webb and Robbie Ray. They have a really good bullpen. And Rafael Devers, very quietly, without a lot of fanfare, is really starting to hit. It's not a surprise. You move, opposite coasts, new league, new teammates, new coaches. It was going to take a little bit for him to acclimate, but he's acclimated, and he's been really, really, really being an offensive force in line with what we know he can be. So, yeah, I do think the Giants are a threat to make the postseason. They're more of a threat to take the Mets spot right now than the Padres spot, just by virtue of how the standings shake out. But
that would be something else. That would be something else. There's 3 teams in the West.
This is a team that is playing very, very well at the right time and does have enough impact players where you can say, yeah, that's not a team that you should be dismissive of.
Kyle, you are the best. What's coming up on Friar Territory tomorrow?
Yeah. We're going to have a minor league farm system end of year update with John Conniff of Mad Friars.
Oh, very nice. Great.
So assessing where the Padres farm system stands after all their trades, what's left, who some of the top performers have been, what's the status of Luis Camposano and his future. Salas going to the fall league. Really just a great comprehensive, look at the entire Padres farm system and realistically where it stands after all their deadline trades. And
that's good.
On Sunday, we'll be back with Mike Cameron to wrap up the Rockies series. And, the expectation and the hope, of course, is that's the kind of series the Padres take 3 or 4 and start getting back on track and maybe gain a little bit of ground. But
4-4. They have no business. They cannot afford to lose a game to the lowly Rockies. Tell Cammy Cam I said hi. He's the best. One of my favorite Padres players of all time to cover, man. And by the way, on Camposano, now you've triggered me. It's over. It's over. I know there's people pining for Luis Camposano. It's over. I think both sides need a clean break. The fact they did not call him up when they desperately needed a bat for any situation, it is over. I would imagine Campy probably wants to move on so he can go ahead and hit 30 bombs for a different team.
Look, given the Padres' reluctance to call him up when the time was right in May and June, and given Mike Schultz's reluctance to give him everyday at-bats, and realistically, this is now 3 straight coaching staffs that have not really trusted him. There is no question that I think a fresh start for him would probably be what is best for his career in terms of getting opportunities moving forward. Again, the catching is an issue. There's a reason he was not brought up to catch when the Padres really, really, really needed anyone who was an upgrade over Elias Diaz and Martin Maldonado. But the bat will play. That's the opinion of both scouts. It bears that out with his performance. And I would not be surprised if 2 years from now, again, he's hitting 5-hole, 6-hole with 20 to 25 homers for some other team as a DH. 100%. It would not shock me.
Kyle, you're the best. I'm looking forward to your show. You wrap up with John Conniff tomorrow. He is outstanding. By the way, tell him that he sent me the best Lake Elsinore t-shirt. I love it. It's fantastic. So thank John for me. I look forward to watching that show. And then you and Mike Cameron on Sunday. Have a great time. You will be at Giants and Dodgers in the Bay Area.
Yeah, so what was originally
good.
going to be a personal trip has actually turned into a bit of a work trip. So
Of
I will be
course.
I will be out there and you know, watching and covering that series a bit, and it should be a good one, that's for sure.
Awesome. Enjoy it. Enjoy some garlic fries. All right, Kyle, you're the best. I look forward to talking to you soon.
Thanks, Marty. Appreciate it.
That was Kyle Glaser from Friar Territory talking about the Padres, the West, the wild card. We'll see what happens. I know he said 3 or 4. The Padres cannot sweep the Rockies. They have major problems. And by the way, they need to give Manny Machado a day off. Speaking of a day off, I caught up with Padres infielder Luis Arraez, just talking about, his role with the team and how he adjusted when less playing time, fan criticism, and being benched by Mike Shildt. Here is my conversation from yesterday with Luis Arraez.
Enjoy. This is our game, but we have.
Sorry, let me start over.
Came so close last season. How much unfinished business do you think this team has?
Man, we just need to go there and play the baseball right way and enjoy. This is our game, but we have a really good team. We just need to stay positive and go there and compete.
For the most part of the season, it's the same 1, 2, 3. It's Tatis, it's Luis, it's Manny. What does it? You're a guy that wants to play every single day. Does it bother you when you're not in the lineup, or do you understand?
No, I understand. If he bench me or give me my day off, I take it. He's the manager. I'm here to support the team to win games.
You have quite a few guys in this clubhouse, including yourself, that could be free agents after the season. What has your time with the Padres meant to you, and how special is this group that you guys have?
San Diego Padres mean a lot because they give me a lot of opportunities, especially play here in this beautiful city and right to the beautiful fans. The crowd here is every day full. And I love San Diego. I hope I continue to do my job there and try to do something good for the fans because a lot of fans support me. They not happy with me, but I'm a human. They gotta understand I'm a human. I go there and work hard every day and then try to do my job.
Do you pay attention? Does that stuff bother you when you see the criticism?
No. I know the fans. It's not my first year in big league, but I know a lot of fans frustrated, and then they try to text us like a lot of bad things, but it's okay. I take it. It's a lot of gasoline for me.
What do you make of the season that you've had?
What is it?
What do you make of the season that you've had thus far? Your season?
It's be okay. It's not a great season, but for me it's a good year because we are in the second place. So it's not a me. It's on my team. So I'm here because I love my team. I'm here because I want to go there and try to help the team win.
Every guy in this clubhouse knows it's a business. Is free agency something that weighs on your mind? I mean, you have a family. It's about moving around.
I know. Everybody know me. It's not my first year in big league. I got a really good years since this one. This one is okay year, but since 19. I got a really good year, so I don't know. So I hope San Diego sign me, or I don't know if they want to sign me, but I'll be available. Let's see if they want to talk to me. But we need to just go there and then try to win the division and try to make the playoff.
Okay, sorry, I had a tech issue. All my fault because I can't figure out the mouse. All right, guys, that was Padres infielder Luis Arraez just talking about, his role with the team, unfinished business, and of course, the possibility of free agency in the back of his mind. It's interesting. Normally, when you're AJ Preller, you want those players who are in their walk year, whether it's Luis Arraez and Dylan Cease. It hasn't quite panned out, but Luis Arraez does have value to the Padres, and he has been an absolute joy to cover. All right, guys, that's it for me today. I'm Marty Caswell here on Marty Time TV. We're brought to you by the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the Players Place. Big thanks again to Kyle Glaser of Friar Territory for joining me. He is very, very busy with his podcast on the Foul Territory Network and also making, appearances on different sports shows in this country. All right, guys. It's been a bit of a chaotic world, chaotic week, chaotic news day. I know it's the 24-year anniversary of September 11th, which is a time that changed this country forever. So be good to each other, try and get through your day, and I look forward to talking some more baseball, Padres, NFL with you guys soon. Have a great day, and I appreciate your time. And by the way, one last thing. A lot of times I post these interviews with athletes, whether it's Luis Arraez or Manny Machado or Tatis. And recently I have stopped tagging them, like especially on Instagram, because people can be so cruel on social media. So just think about that before you send your next comment when you are attacking an athlete for the performance. They are all human beings, as are we all. Have a great day. Talk to you soon.
We're going to talk about earthquakes? No, yeah, I thought you want to talk about baseball.
Where are you on the Astros sign stealing scandal and the resulting punishment?
I wasn't going to be answering no Astros questions today.
That's right, Rook. That's right, Rook.
Baseball's where I belong. I don't care what field. I love this team. I want to be here forever. I want to be the Padres forever. But baseball is what I always love.
Since we're in the moment, is there a more annoying sports phrase than "get in the hole"?
Oh, you're saying for this? Oh, I was like, what are you talking about?